Hi guys, welcome to your moon in Virgo. It's my pleasure to connect for you as always. And as you guys know, these readings are timeless and signless, so it actually doesn't matter when you're accessing the video, and it really doesn't matter what your natal placements are, as long as you're here. That means that you were able to manifest this video before you. There may be something of value for you to take away. But as always, and as with everything, I do encourage you to use your own discernment. If something doesn't resonate with you right off the bat, just go ahead and back pocket it and wait and see how the energies continue to unfold. That's just how energy works, okay? So, let's see, Moon in Virgo. This is going to be for the dates of September 23rd to September 25th. Yeah, about midday, a little bit later in midday, early afternoon, September 25th. But yeah, it is whatever. Let's jump right into it. These cards, the Star Spinner Tarot, wanted to work with us today. I actually went looking for another deck, and the minute I saw these, I knew. I knew what was happening. I do want to let you know before I forget, because I just keep forgetting to advertise. If you're interested in having a personal reading with me or a personal energy session with me, healing session via Zoom, please go ahead and check my Etsy. All of the goods are there. Okay, let's see what's up. I'm not gonna lie, when I picked up these cards and my thumb twiddled a card by mistake, quote unquote, guess what card it was? The Devil card. Of course, this is the time. Lots of shadows coming out. Okay, now our shadows are always out to play, by the way, but our teams are really trying to get us to pay attention to those shadows right now. And as you guys know, I do offer a shadow reading, and I do purposefully keep it only at 20 bones, so you can have no barriers. Oh, okay, I like those two. No barriers for you to get the work done. Okay. Some of you are buddying up to the wrong person, is what that card just told me. Oh God, oh Lord, we're not even in the reading yet. Okay, High Priestess, giving me vibes. The vibes are like, hey, this vibe is really much like, hey, you guys know I'm channeling, so I'm gonna say it in the way that it's kind of the vibe I'm interpreting. Hey, we kind of told you this already, but we're gonna go ahead and let you know again. We can't tell you everything. We're gonna let you know a little bit, enough, more than enough for you to put the puzzle pieces together and do what's best for all parties involved. So that's the way that's coming through. I got this here. So listen up. This cute Queen of Pentacles hugging this cute little bun, it came out in reverse, and just the way that it fell, I just knew that somebody here, a few of you, everybody, I don't know, we're buddying up to people, places, things, and situations and ideas that are no longer serving a purpose. Wow, the cards are really not volatile, but they're really okay. All right, let me get my, let me hold on, guys. Let me delve, I've got to delve for this one. All right. So, under this moon in Virgo, I'm looking at the energies that are in the air. I'm just thinking, thank God for some Virgoan energy. We need to bring some analytics here. We need a plan. We need to construct something of value that's going to take us forward over the next few weeks, because I feel that over the next few weeks, we're going to be coming into a lot of static. And when I say static, I mean friction. And when I say friction, I mean social disturbance. So many of you, and they've been saying this for the past few days through my channel, many of you, many of us, many people are going to be rubbing up against others. Why? Macroscopically speaking, it's for learning purposes, because we understand and learn more about ourselves when we observe and we analyze and we feel into and we get to the bottom of the relationship dynamics that we share with other people. Those dynamics just show us parts of ourselves, because other people are just mirrors for us. And I know some people are like, I'm not like my alcoholic father. I get it. You've never touched a drink in your life, but you have to understand, number one, maybe you didn't in this lifetime, but in quite a few other lifetimes you did, and that energy pattern is still in your field. It's enough to pull this kind of person into your soul chart in this lifetime. It could also be that it's not necessarily the alcoholism, for example, using that example, that is being mirrored. It's some shadow energy, something in the behavioral pattern, or something in the way that the two of you think that is similar. So you have to, and also anytime you run far away from something or you run towards something, there's something karmic there. There is an electrical charge that's going on. I'm actually seeing the electrical charge here. So they're actually saying that during the next few weeks, for the sake of learning, they're going to be introducing a few currents into our connections. It's all by design. Earth is a school, and I'm not sure if some of you are aware of that hypothesis, that Earth is a school for our souls to come and learn a little bit more about ourselves and a whole self. And anyway, it's a whole thing. But whether or not you subscribe to that and the rationale underlying that, which I did not get into, at the end of the day, we can all agree that whatever we're going through in life can give us more information about ourselves, and through learning more about ourselves, we're better able to put ourselves in a position to make better choices, thereby contributing to our personal health and well-being and our ability to better navigate the world that we're in. So it all evens out regardless of what your theoretical underpinnings are. So right now, there is a major focus on really learning about relationships. And I know technically it's always that way, because we live in the world and we live with people. So we're constantly learning about others and about ourselves and our values and our core beliefs and core misbeliefs and misperceptions. But Spirit is definitely going to be turbocharging a few of these connections at this time. So please be ready to kind of have a little friction, a little static with people. But you don't have to stay in that place of static. That's the thing. You see how super cute the Five of Chalices here? Here she is. It's like Five of Cups grief. But here she is looking very stagnant, very, what's the word? I guess stagnant. There's a word I'm not pulling up here, but it doesn't matter. But petrified, unable to move. She's, yeah, oh gosh. Is anyone screaming at their TV or word? Scream, let me hear you. Yeah. Anyway, this person is just transfixed. They're not able to move. They're in freeze mode. And so you don't have to stay in freeze mode. If you come up against a person in your life, anybody, and there's a little bit of a tiff that you have, or even a skirmish or a full outright fight, please remember you still have the choice. You still have choices that you can make to, I guess, resolve this issue. And of course, it starts by looking deeply within yourself, trying to understand the dynamic, the energetic dynamic that underlies this situation that you got into or that you were pulled into. Again, a lot of this is going to be by design. So it's like the universe is cooking it up for you to have these experiences. It's written into your beloved soul chart, right? And it's for the sake of putting an end once and for all to certain energy dynamics. In fact, look at this current here that's right on top of the Ten of Swords, which is all about putting an end to a major cycle that is very painful. So you don't have to stay stuck in that. But I'll tell you what will keep you stuck in that kind of energy and with not having closure, not having resolution with somebody and being in a state of unforgiveness is pride, any arrogance. If you're stuck in victim mode, if you are coming from a place of low self-worth, if you're in denial, these kinds of low vibration energies that are completely the opposite from wanting to have a resolution and wanting to have peace, those are going to keep you stuck. Because when you're in those places, those energetic spaces, the signal that's being sent out to the universe is, I'm not interested in resolving this. So if you can't resolve something if you're still stuck in victim mode. And again, if you haven't checked out some of the past videos, the guides talked about victim mode and what keeps us stuck there. And at the end of the day, underlying that, what keeps us stuck in victimhood is that we haven't had a chance to tell our stories and or have our stories received and processed and heard in a way that we need. So that's the point of not being resolved, and that echoes out and it keeps you stuck. So that's an example there. So you have to understand that whatever you experience starting now and in the next few weeks, it's really for the sake of you learning more about yourself, but you're doing so through the vehicle of other people. That's classic Libran energy, right? All about interpersonal relationships. But if you don't approach it properly and you get stuck in any of these low vibe places, you're going to, get stuck with issues, right? And you're going to miss an opportunity during this time when the conditions are really ripe to really lay it on the line. Allow yourself to exercise more vulnerability, be more open, take a shot in the dark, try something new, tell the truth, make amends, give your apologies, compromise. All of those words are choose one, pick all of them. Those are going to be very helpful for you. Now, we are in the moon in Virgo. We're feeling the energies of the moon transiting the sign of Virgo right now, right? So this is great. If I were you, I would really just say, hello, Virgo energy, please come, help me to wade through these emotions. Help me to put my emotions in check. Help me to earth and ground. Look at that. Look at right underneath here. If it isn't the old look, you see, I said if it isn't the old learning experience card, and then look at the next card, says yes. Yes, it is. Come, let me transform you. Ding, transformation. If you want to, that's the energy. We're talking transformation, baby. If you want to. And we all want to, come on. So bring the earthy energy as much as you can of Virgo. Again, not in the judgmental way. Gonna ring the alarm on that traveling. Just kidding. Isn't that the traveling sign? I don't know. Look, this is not about pulling in the over-judgmental, superiority-minded way that our Virgoan selves and friends, because a lot of us have Virgo in us, right? And we have a lot of friends and siblings who are of the Virgoan nature. I want you to forego that part of Virgo. Hey, he got it. And instead rely on the analytic aspect. Of course, yes, feel your feelings, but allow Virgo's skill set to stop you from overly attaching, to stop you from overly identifying with the story, to stop you from sinking into the abyss of emotion. A lot of times the abyss of emotion doesn't even need to be an abyss. It's the story you tell yourself about something that creates the abyss around an emotion. By the way, if you have not checked out The Abyss, the movie, young Ed Harris, just putting it out there, yes, please. Anyway, and the others. Just kidding. No, the others they're cool too. But that's a great movie, okay? Oh, and the end was just so justifiable. Oh, just loved it. Anyway, now I'm dating myself, and yeah. So, on a serious note, definitely, it's time to take stock of the personal relationships that you have in your life, because they are going to be a feature for you at this time. And just because, so hear me out, this is something that, thank you guides, this is something the guides mentioned, I think in one of the last readings that we did, yes, thank you, it was the Moon and Leo reading. If you did not check out the Moon and Leo, or you have forgotten, or you'd like to check it out again, go ahead and check it out, because they bring through a lot of information that could help us going into this Libra season 2022. So they brought that out to give us an idea. And one of the things that they talked about is not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Right now, Relationships are being placed in front of you for the sake of seeing what the dynamic is, observing the dynamic, allowing it to take you inside, allowing it to show you what it is that you are doing in this connection. Who are you being? What things are you letting slide? What is the other person doing? Right? It's observation mode. If you find yourself getting to a quick place of judgment and dismissing people right off the bat, or seeing yourself as better than them, or by the converse, right, seeing yourself as worse than them, this is not the right approach. So especially as I'm telling you to embrace Virgo energy, just as they said in the Moon and Leo reading, do not embrace the judgmental part of Virgo. You're not made to judge right now. You're just made to observe. But to help you observe without getting bogged down and mired in with your emotions, story-driven emotions, please use the logic and the foresight. Virgos can be very insightful and intuitive. And I would like to think that it's because they just make great people watchers when they're ready, and they're great with identifying patterns, okay? All right. The guides are also saying that during this time, it's not about feeling yourself to be a prisoner. It's about recognizing that a new day, I just heard like Celine Dion's song, a new day. I literally heard that. It's a new day. You have a new day dawning for you. Look at her. Transformation. A new day dawning for you. And that means you have the opportunity to try something new, to show up as something new, to be someone new. You have a chance to look at what's happening and really bring changes in. Would you like to see transformation in your life? Get excited, because now's the time. Yeah, we're talking to you and your mama too. Everybody, this is the time to change. But the question is, are you willing to make the difference? Look at this card. Just saying again, you might experience strife or trouble in connections, even connections you thought were rock solid. This is not a sign to get rid of the connection. It's your stuff coming up and being mirrored by this person. And if you could sit with yourself and really work to transform that, you can transform the connection, because you're not transforming the connection, you're transforming the way you see it. And the way you see it, your perspective, being changed is what creates a change in the transfer in the connection, right? So it's all you driven. And once you do that, you can have a different reality with the people you love. You can even discover new things about yourself. Strength and guidance, okay? Mother and Father God, cute. Forgiveness and understanding. Yeah, it's all here. We've got everything. Look at how the learning experience angel has this beautiful light. It's like this beautiful light that's channeled straight through from God, from source energy, whatever you would like to use. And here it is, lighting your way. Forgiveness and understanding. Now, if you want to be a real G and get an A+ this season, we're all trying, right? I mean, are you like an I want to get an A+ person, or are you like, I just need a C? where are you? Right? If you really want to get that A+, you're looking to transform the heart. You're looking to tap into the heart. You're looking to see, where in my heart am I generating this space of unforgiveness? It's actually really, what thoughts am I thinking? What are my core misbeliefs that are precipitating down through my dimensional cells, down through the different levels of my auric body, through my mental field, my auric field, my etheric field, my catheric, all of these. What is my core belief that is based on fear, which is the opposite of love? But we all know that there's no such thing as fear. There's no opposite, because all there is love. But since we're down here in this duality and we're all still believing in fear, let's just use the language, right? Somewhere along the way, we have chosen to believe that there is an alternate state to love. And that is the original quote-unquote sin. Sin meaning missing the mark. misperception. That's it. There's no ethical, moral, whatever connected to that, and definitely no punishment and judgment. It just means, oops, you missed it. Okay, that's it. Oh my God, the way thank you, Spirit. Look, the next card, yeah, it's not here where it should be. It's, oops, it's over here. You missed it. Okay, that's kind of the energy there. Okay. Boop. Yeah, so this is that. We have to ask ourselves, what's going on inside, somewhere inside of me and my being. I have this belief. I don't know where it is in my field, but I have this belief that is distorting all, that's the distortions, in case you're like, what's that? All of the other levels of my being. There's actually a distortion card I want to find, but it's called disruption, but I just don't feel like getting up and looking for it because I have to like do too much. But just trust me, it's distortion somewhere along your field, and it pushes everything out of whack. And by the time it gets down here, you're experiencing things like jealousy and low self-worth, and lack of deservability and things like that. So you have to understand that when you're doing healing work, all you're doing is trying to, number one, take note. Oh, something's going on because I'm having a weird feeling that feels low. I have a low vibe feeling, and we know all the emotions that. So something's going on in my field. I don't know where it is, but something's in there. Let me open up to Spirit, invite my higher self in, kind of ask it to show me what's going on. Let me put my mind off of it, go do other stuff, and be in a receptive mode. When I receive the insight, sit, reflect upon it, start to take note of how I use and misuse my energy, how I affect the very things that I would like to clean up, and then take action steps in coordination with something higher than myself. Make any amends that need to be made, apologize, give the I love yous, all of that, and just move forward with greater commitment to your health and well-being. And you take those steps, and that's it. And now there are so many things that can kind of go off along that path, but the point is, our job is to keep showing the path and keep reiterating it, because once we understand what the path is, then we know we can better gauge when we're kind of off it, or how far away from it we are, and we can always bring ourselves back and do our best. And so that's what is happening at this point, right? Let me just go ahead, pull another card, another set of cards. I love these cards, they're so cute, all of these cards. Hey. Oh yeah, I was like, what are you doing there, buddy? Okay, 5 cards, they say. Keeping fascination. Here's a High Priestess again. Think. 2 times. All right, so again, this is giving me vibes of this time period is very much orchestrated, okay? So don't act the fool, guys. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Observe, observe, observe. Observe, observe, observe. As you observe, try to understand, okay, I did this person did this. What was my dominant emotion? What were my dominant thoughts? What could possibly be the fearful things that I was thinking, or fearful beliefs that I was holding, that allowed me to have these thoughts and have these feelings and to have that knee-jerk reaction towards that other person? Okay, if you didn't write those questions down, go ahead and write them down, because those are questions, right? But the whole point is you want to look at that, and you want to understand that I'm looking for the fear. What's the fear? And sometimes you can sit and ask yourself, well, what am I most afraid of having be true about this situation? What am I most afraid of having be true about myself, about my identity? What am I most afraid of having be true about me in the eyes of other people? These are the kinds of fears that put us into, a spin, so to speak. Then ask yourself questions like, okay, what am I holding on to? What am I holding on to that, whether I'm aware of it or not, is contributing to chaos, that is contributing to confusion, that is contributing to sadness and grief and fear and vengeance and all of these low vibe energies, victimhood, bitterness, resentment? Ask yourself that. And then you ask yourself, it may seem a little bit weird and counterintuitive, but you ask yourself, what is my payoff for holding on to this way of being? Because when I'm in this way of being, I'm introducing a certain dynamic into the connections between me and the people around me. And those dynamics fall apart completely when I change myself. It doesn't matter what other people do. If I'm not willing to play this game anymore, it's not going to happen. So what is it that I'm doing to keep this equation going? And what's my payoff? Yes, I've noticed it with this one friendship. We're always arguing about something. It's so contentious. I could say, wow, it's a nice day out today. And the other person's like, yeah, I said it was better yesterday. And that makes me angry because why can't they just agree with me for once? Why do we, all of that stuff, for example. Ask yourself, what's the payoff every time you get engaged in that kind of dynamic with this person? And you may be like, it's not even me. It's them. They pick a fight. No, they cannot pick a fight and keep a fight going with you. Somebody could just shout things to you and it wouldn't matter. If someone looked at you and called you a tree, you'd be like, okay. But if they called you you can fill in whatever word, that's going to make you mad, some of you, right? It's going to make you angry. What did you say? There's no difference between the word tree and any other expletive you can think of, except for what story you allow yourself to believe and bring in to this. Well, see, if he calls me a bee, then that means he doesn't respect me. And who cares? You see what I mean? It doesn't matter. If some 3-year-old called you that, you'd be shocked and you'd be like, what? Where are you hearing these words from? There wouldn't be that anger there. So you see, you're the one bringing these definitions in and these stories in and these this and that. If you didn't have a story running underneath, like, no one respects me, they better respect me, I'm this, and don't call me out of my name, and all that stuff, you're bringing in. Now, other people can bring it in if they'd like to, but you don't have to. So that's a good example of how holding on to certain beliefs and stories and qualities and characteristics and all of that are just going to keep you stuck. And it's going to keep you in a place of reactivity, instead of responding. Observing, understanding you're having the feeling, having compassion for the fact that you're having the feeling it, telling that story while you're in feel mode, and then understanding that it's completely okay to have the feeling and make a decision independently of that decision, of that feeling. You could totally have a feeling of just not feeling comfortable with somebody and not wanting to work with them and not liking their work ethic, whatever, and still make a decision to get into a project with them. You can totally do that. It's just the problem occurs when you have these feelings and you don't acknowledge them, and in fact you disown them because you feel like you're not allowed to have those feelings or you're ashamed of having those feelings. When you do that, you shuffle it just right behind you. It's still affecting you, but now you're choosing denial, not to see it. And it happens just like that. It happens just like that all day. Okay? And when you do that, then you're going to see the world through the lens of having that story and those fears and whatever. You're just not going to recognize that you're doing it. So you see, we are working on this planet with a whole bunch of lenses that are just unhealthy. They're not real. They are low vibration, they're fear infused and fear based, but we don't recognize it, and that's why awareness comes into play. And that's why right now, like I said, you have to remember you're looking for the fear. You know there's fear under there because the evidence is that you're feeling upset in some way. There's a disturbance in your field. Same thing with ailments. Any ailments you have, big, small, that is a physical manifestation of fear somewhere in your body, disturbance, distortion somewhere in your body, and it's been left unchecked to the point that it has now gotten into the physical realm, the physical manifesting body. It's no longer in the etheric bodies, it's no longer in the different levels of the different planes, one of which is the etheric, so I don't want to get it all confused, but it's no longer, in the non-physical bodies. It's now in your physical. So anyway, so observation. And as if to cap it all, here we have the beautiful Justice card come through, talking about the scales. Because maybe it's like some of you guys are probably like, well, why are we doing all this to ourselves? Well, listen, I guess souls had a lot of time on their hands. I don't know. And it's irrelevant. All we know is right now, it's really a good idea to help get to a place where we are not creating more stress for ourselves. And when it comes to energy pockets and stress in the body and all of that, what you don't know can hurt you. This is not like, well, I don't believe in God, I don't believe in spirits, I don't know about physical, non-physical bodies, whatever. It doesn't bother me. Okay, do you? But you would be surprised to see it totally affects you. And you could be improving the quality of your life if you took some steps forward. Now, let's put it this way. One of the major, excuse me for the noise next door, guys. It is a Friday night. Anyway, and I'm inside. Okay, anyway, doing this work, which is great. It's great. Yeah, so I would say one of the main reasons why we're doing this, why we're down here doing this, is to help integrate our souls, to better understand ourselves, right? But at the end of the day, the most superficial, reason, without needing to go into any big theory and different hypotheses and whatever, is that we're trying to bring balance to the self. Okay, whenever just like the body, when there's illness or ailments of any kind, it's really depicting a body or reflecting a body that is out of balance. That's it. There's an imbalance in the body, and you have to go and you take a look. When we have imbalances in the body, and when we have ailments, and then we have things going awry outside of us in our environment with other people. Oh my God, I just crashed my car. All of that. Those are reflections of imbalance in the energy field. And so all we're trying to do here, look at the magician just trying. All we're trying to do here is to kind of understand, who am I? What is this biological suit that I'm in? What is this meat suit? What is going on? And trying to, learn and trying to awaken during this lifetime to the fact that you are not just a body. You're not just a body. And it's one of those things that you cannot truly appreciate and quote unquote glean and see until you actually engage with it, when you start learning this stuff, and then you start to realize, it's just like astrology. People will be like, astrology is not real and this and that. Yeah, of course it's not real, because you're stuck at such a superficial level that you're out there like, what's your sign? You're Aquarius? Or you're out there looking at, the Sunday paper and finding your sun sign in a 3 or 4 sentence blurb. It's one of those things that the more you delve into it and more you actually study it and you take time, you start to understand what it's about. You start to see how it can be a tool for assisting you in better understanding the energies that were at play when you were born and the energies that are constantly changing in your life. These are just many of the gifts, many of the tools. As I'm doing this, I'm saying this, many of the tools that people have at their disposal to better understand themselves. We're not living back in the day anymore where you literally had to be lucky enough to see the Oracle of Delphi or any type of oracle, or even a few decades ago when you're just doing your best. You have everything available to you now. The thing is that now, because there's so much available, you have to have the right discernment. And you have to have the commitment. You have to have the wherewithal. And you have to have the real desire and the real ability and the strength to look at who you are. It's not easy to look at who we are because we might be ashamed. This is why we call these things shadows. But in the same way that you can cast your eyes on someone else and see them as having good points and bad points, or whatever you want to call it, you have it too, right? We all do. So the sooner you start to embrace yourself in all of your entirety, and to love yourself and forgive yourself and allow yourself, oh, look, it's the inner child card after. Cute. So cute. The sooner you start to do that, the sooner you'll start to see major effects in your life, major positive effects. And if you're going into this kind of work to kind of say, well, I gave this a good 3 months and nothing happened, well, I'm gonna have to let you know I'm not the channel for you. Because we're here to keep going. We're here to understand this is the work. This is the homework. This is the homework, this is the day work. And while you don't have to be plugged in every day, all day, thinking about what's going on with you, it does help to make that a major focus in your life, especially if you've manifested this video. If you've manifested this video, then this is definitely an avenue for you to explore. And it's just gonna help you. Because the more that we get clear on the inside and get rid of these shadow spots and these energetic pockets, like when we look into your field, we see them. You put our hand right around it and move it out, and it'll come back, though, if you haven't resolved the issue, right? This is how energy works. I can remove things for you, but if you still have that energetic frequency going, it's just going to pull things right back in. And we see that. That's why your last 4 exes are the same person. Just kidding, but you know, last 3, okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. The point is, we're trying. And listen, now's the time. You see this 6 of Pentacles here and this Justice card? Look at that. Both have scales. It's time. It's Libra season. Let's get it going. Start looking at the people around you. Take note of any skirmishes that pop up, any thoughts you have about people, any feelings you have about people. Use it to delve inside. Try to understand the fear that you have around there. Try to understand what you're holding on to, you know, and then surrender. Allow Spirit to come through and to help you out. Archangel Michael's really great with that. Archangel Raphael's great with that as well, you know. I like to call on Mother Mary. I like to call on Jesus, you know, whoever you want. I do also like to call on Lord Ganesh, you know, get it right. Whoever. And remember, when we're navigating this world in a sense of being an equal opportunity kind of person, you understand that source energy, the creator of all things, all beings, all that is, can get through to you in any vehicle. So if that has to be through 2 words on the side of a bus that's passing by, then so be it. And that will hold just as much weight as opening any book that you could ever open, or seeing any, you know, religious leader or shaman or whoever that could ever be. You have to understand that Spirit works through different people, different things. It just works through different. And so that's another thing that you should have moving into this season: flexibility. If you limit yourself, you're only limiting yourself. And you don't have to be open and talk to other people about what your beliefs are. The minute you start doing that, that's when you start to limit yourself. Because if you allow yourself to have your own set of beliefs and to keep it kind of private, that gives you full latitude, and it allows Spirit to be able to move through anything for you, so that you don't feel like you have to justify yourself to other people. And you certainly don't have to let other people's beliefs and their thoughts come in and interfere with your very personal journey, okay? So anyway, best of luck during this moon in Virgo. Stay tuned later for the next moon reading in the next few days. What's today? Friday? Also in the next few days, we're going to go into week 4. We'll have a week 4 reading. If you have not yet taken a look or another look at the September 2022 monthly reading, please go ahead and do that. And that's what I like to do mid-month, to kind of see what's come true and what insight can I glean. And a lot of times the earlier week readings as well, those energies are still at play, and so they could be very helpful in helping you at any time of the month, because remember, they're timeless and signless. All right, God bless you guys. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. If you'd like to have a reading with me or a personal healing session with me, all of my information is somewhere on this page. But until then, God bless. Oh my God, this is under an hour. Yeah! Under 40 minutes. Okay, let me hurry up so I can keep it under 40 minutes. Bye, guys.